Good morning, everybody. I
Good
am
morning.
Good morning.
super excited for today. This is a strategy that I have literally been using since I started going all in on my business online. And I credit this strategy as the strategy that literally made me not only my first six figures, but my second six figures. And it helped me book out my very first higher ticketed program. As you guys know, this program, the premium program, used to actually be a higher ticketed offer. Now I say higher ticketed because whenever I first started, offering a program for $497 was a big deal for me, right? I came from, still having my 9 to 5, and I'm like, wow, $497, charging $497 is a big deal. That turned into a $997 offer, which turned into a $2,000 offer, which then turned into the premium program as it is today in a membership. And the way that I was able to do that was because any time that I was going live, I was able to enhance the experience that people just had with me by including some type of resource. And so this value bomb landing page that I'm going to show you guys how to create today, I just want to focus on getting some created. Now inside the ecosystem, I have posted this training. So now underneath the value bomb training inside the ecosystem, underneath the organic spider web strategy, I have all 4 videos that I have here. This is straight out of my 90-day program. If you've never seen my 90-day program, that's okay. I've provided the video training here. And then today's implementation session, I want you guys to be able to use it as a resource so that you can leave here today at least having a good idea of how you want to do that. And I just wanted to show you an example. This was the very last one that I did back in March. And some of you guys actually came into this program from this. This was where we just like overloaded with waiting lists for this program with this one post. Heather, how many comments are on this post?
519.
That created a lot of several things for me. 1, credibility. 2, lots of pixel data. And 3, a huge amount of people that just came onto my waiting list for premium. And if you guys remember at the same time, what else did I do for this program? Because of the demand, I was able to raise it a little bit, right? And so I just wanted to show you guys this as a way to let you guys know this is something that I still use. This is super, super important to every single strategy that I run. And as we get deeper into the ecosystem, we're going to utilize these in more ways than one. This is still a very valuable way for me to get people into my $7 program, my premium, but I always build these with a strategy in mind. And that's what I want you guys today, build simple, okay? Because my very first value bomb landing pages, they did not have any pixels, but remember, the reason that we do this is so that 1, we can build credibility and authority with our audience, but 2, what is the main purpose that we're trying to drive with these? What leads to more cash than anything else? Conversations, right? So the main goal of this is not to just pixel people and, be able to retarget them. The whole point of this whole system is to drive conversations. And then we're going to turn around and later, as we get deeper into the ecosystem, we're going to use these in another type of way. So whatever we're going to create here, we're going to use later on. But today, I just want you guys to have the basics of these value bomb landers, because here's the thing, like I implement this not only like with you guys, like as my private students, but my private like clients who work with me on a more consulting and agency basis. I have them create these things, and they're call setters use these in order to book calls and move people from Messenger onto the phone. Okay. Now, and again, I know Heather was like, well, I have a whole bunch of lead magnets. I'm not sure if this is for me. This is how I sold my $7 program over 400 times before I ever used ads. I went live. I told, hey, drop me a line below if you want, a peek at the step-by-step strategy. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples because there's 3 different types that I use. And if you haven't seen the training, that's okay. You can go back after today and take your time and actually go through all of the videos. They're not very long. Like I said, I've uploaded them into the ecosystem part, but just kind of want to get a couple of people here started and brainstorm, right? Because now it is creative over coffee, right? So on Thursdays now, we're going to create things just like this that you can utilize inside your business. So the very first type is a checklist. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So if I go here, why does it not make this big? So that's kind of cool how it like opens in the same window. Okay, that's new. So this is what a checklist would look like, a cheat sheet. Now, one of the things that I'm also want to go over is that there's a certain anatomy that I use in every single one of my cheat sheets that you guys are going to see as I go through each example. The first thing that we have is a very big, clear title, right? Because we always want to tell people like what they're about to look at, right? So this is my format is I do title, big and bold, pitch, the content, and then another pitch. So that's the anatomy, right? So you guys can see, like if I'm going live, so I use this as a value bomb. Whenever the iOS happened, I went live with a video and said, hey guys, like you have to have, this is what's happening. And there's a couple of things that you need to do. Now, don't worry about taking notes. If you drop me a line below, I will send you the checklist. That's what I'm doing is I'm getting people to comment, right? My client accelerator 2-step. If you guys haven't gone through the 2-step training yet, definitely do that. Because these value bomb lenders have a huge part in that. And I'm not just going and dropping this checklist inside Messenger. I'm like asking them, hey, are you running it? Do you have any ads running right now? Like, and if they say no, I'm like, oh, cool. Well, here's the checklist, but here's everything that you need to do before you run your first ad. When you're ready to run your first ad, here's another resource. So let me know what you think. And then I just have like conversations with people. Typically people come back and they're like, hey, Laurel, I followed the checklist, and they'll usually have a question or not. And I'm like, hey, you know what? This would be a really good fit for the next Zoom call that we're doing inside the $7 program. Why don't you get signed up for the $7 program? And then a lot of people will be like, well, how could we work more, one-on-one with you? And I'm like, well, my premium program is perfect for that. So I'm using these as a way to have more conversations. And so the first type that you can do is a checklist. As you can see, it's a step-by-step guide, okay? Now, the second type is a swipe file. This one loads full screen, but the anatomy is the same, right? Big, bold title, pitch. Here's the template that I promised. A swipe file, right, is just something that people can take. Heather, this would be a great one for you to teach to your real estate agent. Here's a swipe file of what I'm using, right? And so again, pitch at the end, right? So Heather actually had a really good question.
Lots of good questions.
So some people suggest you should give your best content away. That's how I've modeled mine in the past, but then it gets very confusing what I should be keeping free versus paid for members. So I did nothing for a long time. How do you determine what is good enough for a value bomb, but not too good that paid members will feel like they're paying for nothing because you give it all for free? I'm going to eliminate that objection right now. How many of you guys get really pissed off when I give away all my value bombs on my Facebook lives? Does anyone just get super fucking pissed off at me? Why?
No.
Why?
I either don't see it, or also you have a shit ton of content. So like, there's no way that I can even get close to getting through a week of your call replays, let alone everything else. And now there's an ecosystem. So, but I don't have that much.
But if you're consistent, you will. I launched my $7 program let's see. I was gonna say, who's been here? Oh, she's not here. Argentina, do you remember the story of how I launched my $7 program? What was in there when I first launched my $7 program?
My God, it's been a while since I watched.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
But it was all organic. I mean, you were doing the 90-day videos, like videos going live every day. And
but what was inside? But what was inside my $7 program when I first launched it?
I will teach you how to, get clients for $7 a month, something like that.
Okay. So yes, that was it. But the content was literally jumping on what Heather just said. My $7 content was all of my Facebook lives that I had done for free, organized in a chronological order with all of these cheat sheets. That is how I launched my $7 offer. I leveraged something that I was already doing and put it in. So why did over 200 people pay for free content that I had been doing for a year?
I think you
not do it again.
I think you said it perfectly. To steal from your buddy Dan Henry, organized information, people pay for that.
Yep. And people pay in this program so that you guys don't have to go through that $7 mess that's over there, right? Like Argentina, she comes to me and she's like, Laurel, I'm launching this. Just tell me the videos that I need to watch, and that is it. That's it. So that's what people, so my answer, I know this was kind of a long-winded answer to Heather's question. I give everything away for free. Everything. Like if someone on one of my lives was like, hey, can you do a live on the Hot 7? Sure. They're not going to get me to help them implement it, right? You guys have been watching the Hot 7, but me and Heather talked out her first reminder video. And so here's, and I see your question, Joe. I'm going to come to you in a minute. Here's what we need to start doing, especially as the landscape has been changing, right? There's the rise of the coaching industry bubble, right? There's so many courses, there's so many coaches, there's so many people who are attempting to do everything that you and I do, right? And so one of the ways that we can elevate ourselves is by giving everything that we can do away. And I'm not saying we should be coaching people in Messenger or anything like that. But if I went up to Argentina and said, hey, I got a spot open in my agency, do you want it? She would probably say yes. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because she trusts me. She's seen that I know my shit. I could put a post right now. If I wanted to fill probably 20 spots in my agency, I could probably put one post on my Facebook. And so that's what I'm trying to get at is the people who are, it's always the people who are the loudest, right? Sell the most. I'll give you guys an example. So I follow Deepesh Mandalia, however you say his last name. He's one of the only Facebook ad gurus that I follow because he works very closely with Facebook. And he said it best the other day. Hyros is not the best tool for attribution on Facebook ads. It's not the best, but he said it sells the most and people think it's the best because Alex Becker is so freaking loud about it and he puts a lot of money towards getting it out there, right? You don't have to be the best, but if you are the loudest and I'm not the best at Facebook ads, there are so many people who are probably so much better than me. I'm not big into the technical setups, but the reason that Facebook ads work so well for me and my students is because I'm teaching you guys the thing that actually makes Facebook ads work. And that's the messaging and the offer. And so at the end of the day, that's what we have to remember is that Heather, your real estate agents, they're willing to pay for those swipe files. You can give one away. But that's going to get them oh shit, she just gave me this. This is cool. If all of the other swipes are as cool as this, I will no brainer $37. Or if you're doing and you're outlining your strategy on a whiteboard, I would love to see at a whiteboard at some point, being look, I'm a realtor, I'm busy, I'm the go-to, but I still make time for my social media, but it's because I've created this strategy that works for realtors because I am one, right? And I'm just going to show you guys exactly what I do. And here's how I do it. I do this, this, and this. By the way, I've simplified a thing. Drop me a line below and I'll actually give you a peek at some of my swipes. Give them that, and then boom, You have pitch at the bottom, pitch at the top. I bet you're going to get quite a bit of people clicking on that. Then they get put into your retargeting ad sequence, right? Because I'm going to show you guys two different types, and I'm going to get to the questions here in a little bit. So there are two different types, right? And I gave you guys all of my examples and stuff, and I linked this document in the ecosystem too. So the two different types that I do. Okay, so one, I'm going to give you guys an example of one that's on a landing page. So we have the checklist, the swipe file, the step-by-step cheat sheet is the third one. That's probably what most people know me for. So I'm going to show you guys one that's actually on a pixeled landing page. So this is so you can see I've got all my backup pixels on it. This Facebook ad strategy will never fail you. Step 1, understanding the strategy. Step 2, step 3, step 4, know the KPIs. I'm giving them everything away, right? To teach you guys, right? Want me to help you with your ads, blah, 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 click here. Join my $7 program. Right here. Then if I'll give you one that's an example that's not on, this is one that I actually did just a couple of days ago on Instagram. I just did a story and was like, hey, who wants my $5 a day, my favorite $5 a day strategy? Just DM me the word $5 strategy. Just got a whole bunch of DMs and just drop this in like everyone's messenger. Super, super easy. So 2 examples, right? One that's on a pixeled landing page, one that's just on a straight up Google Doc. The only bad thing about the Google Doc is you can't pixel them unless they click on your offer. But total transparency, this is the type of cheat sheets that I was doing when I first started. I didn't get to the pixeled landing pages until I got ClickFunnels, and I didn't get ClickFunnels until I needed it to launch my $7 program. Because I launched my 45-day program, my ads program, which is now premium. I didn't have a funnel. I didn't have anything. I literally sold it out with 2 Facebook Lives and 2 cheat sheets. So I'm going to go through to Joe, because I saw you had your hand up first, and then Joel.
Yeah, the quick question I have is, for the strategy you have in place, you're giving a lot of away, and you're offering a done for you service. So if you're not offering a done for you service, and it's like a course, and this example is, I bought some courses, high-end courses, and then a year or 2 years later, all of a sudden some guru is giving away for free as part of something else. And it kind of did annoy me because I spent thousands of dollars on this, and now they're giving away for free. So that's the one question I have. But the other, to your strategy, if you're giving a lot away, but then you're offering to do it as a service, if I'm not offering a service, how would I implement a strategy like this?
I don't offer service anymore. I haven't offered a service my agency's been booked for a year and a half. I still give everything away.
But you just mentioned that one of the things you can do is now say, hey, if I wanted to fill my agency, I can do that with this strategy.
Yep. But this is how I've sold all my premium. This is how I've sold like my $7 offer. Like I said, like this strategy right here, like here's the thing. Okay. And I understand that a whole bunch of people went out and paid a whole bunch of money to create courses and all of this stuff, but like everything now is available for free. I don't care how high in your course is, like everything's available for free. So why wouldn't I position myself and be like, you know what? Like that Client Accelerator 2-step that I teach you guys, Tanner Chidester sells that for like, oh my God, like I want to say $2,000. Dan Henry sells it for $10,000. Like all of these gurus sell that strategy for thousands of dollars. I give it away like in my $7 program, and a lot of times I'll give it away for free as a value bomb. And so like if your like bottleneck is worried about giving away too much information, then we need to take another look at what value you as your coaching service like actually provides, because people don't pay for information, people pay for results, right? If I read a book on how to lose 30 pounds, just by reading that book doesn't mean that I'm gonna just magically lose that 30 pounds, right? So Joe, I'll ask you this question. What information are you afraid to give away?
I'm not really afraid to give any information away because implementation is key. I mean, you're right.
Yep.
I've got hundreds of books, but if I don't implement anything, they're useless. So I'm not really as worried about that. But to your point earlier, I am a little concerned about that if somebody pays me several $1,000s to work with me, and then I'm pretty much given everything that I have in my programs and my coaching for free, what kind of backlash I might get from that.
Again, let me ask you the question. Are you guys pissed off that I give away all my strategies here? Argentina has paid me, like, she's been a one-on-one consulting client. Argentina, are you pissed that I give away everything that I coached you on over the last several months that we worked one-on-one?
No, because as you guys, I mean, Jose, it's the implementation. It's really that take you by the hand. It's like, okay, I have all this information, but it's just so much. You do this 24/7. So tell me exactly right now what I need to do from all this universe that you're giving me, the one piece where I had to work on in the next few hours. That's what I'm paying for.
Yeah, exactly. And Jennifer brings up a good point. A lot of business coaches are telling us business owners to never give anything away. I mean, I think that's cool for them. For me, it doesn't work. Let me ask you, and I'll present this in a way. Heather, would you have ever spent money with me if I just went and did mindset videos and like videos that never really gave away any of my strategies? And, like, would you have ever spent money?
I joined your $7 program because of a podcast episode you did with Justin Demers. And I was like, well, this is really cool. I've got to see what this $7 thing is about. And then like you messaged me and you gave me something for free. And I was like, wow, oh my God, I love free stuff. Thank you so much. But it was like a gift, not a freebie.
Yep.
And then I like joined premium when no one was even looking, and it probably wasn't space for me, but I'm like, well, the button was there, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll speak to Jennifer's thought right there, where a lot of business coaches are telling us business owners to never give anything away. And this is not to poo-poo any business owner. I don't know who told you that, and it's not really relevant. I see so many people hiding behind their information instead of putting themselves out with their information. Like my mentor, Nick Peterson, I pay him, total transparency, $3,000 a month to be in his high-end mastermind. There's no course to follow. There's literally, I pay for his phone number and but everything that he teaches, like at those, how I go to like those high dollar, like masterminds, he does it for free in his Nixmas. He does like everything that I pay to go and attend all of these events, he gives away for free. And you know what? It doesn't piss me off because I'm not paying for that information. Like I'm paying to be able to call him and be like, Nick, I need to switch up my messaging. A lot of people are bailing on Facebook ads, and okay, let's hop on a phone and let's restructure your messaging to put even more information out there. That's gonna, put you ahead of what everyone else is doing. And Heather, I don't think your membership is set up wrong, because people pay for two things and they're willing to pay a lot of money for it, because a lot of people either have money or they have a lot of time. In your case, Heather, they don't have a lot of time, so they will pay for your membership because your membership collapses time by doing their marketing strategy for them every single month. You don't need to hold their hand to implement it, but you're still collapsing time. If they went and got all your free stuff, that would take them way longer than paying the $37 a month to just be in your membership and get it emailed and get it put in front of them every month. People pay for two things: help with implementation or a way to collapse time. So is someone who's going to go and try to put all my Facebook Live videos and all my cheat sheets in chronological order, do you think that that's a good client for me anyway?
No.
They have way too much time on their hands. That person's going to be a bitch to work with, I want people who want to hop on these calls and get shit moving. I love discussions like this. So Joe, did that answer your question? I want to make sure that I'm
No,
answering.
again, it's just a different perspective. Like, quite honestly, I am pissed off at some of the guys who give everything away for free because I spent thousands with them. But that doesn't detract that I still, made my money on them. So it's just a different perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's okay, right? We all like my strategies, like a lot of like you guys, if you only knew the DMs I get from coaches that are like, I have that inside a pro. Yeah, I'm like, okay, cool, dude. Are you a one trick pony? Because if people rip me off, I've got way more that I can do, It's a confidence thing though. Like I can confidently sit here and say that, but a lot of people like can't. Joel.
Hello. Yeah, I just wanted to not so much a question, but just offer another perspective like my friend Joe did. I just want to say, like, it's not my first rodeo. I've been in business for about 3 years now. I've spent it close to $100,000 at least on coaching programs, consulting.
Wow.
We talked about Dan Henry. There's a ton of them, but I've been through Tanner Chidester. I've been through his program, Elite CEOs. I've been through a lot of programs. But just to offer another perspective, like Laurel says, guys, like what caught me, and I'm going to back up a little bit and say what you first said was like a little scary to my core, because it was like, I'm from that old school where it's like, you teach the desire, it's like, hey, you need this. And then you sell the actual, like the thing, right? You don't like put all your eggs out there. It's like for free. It's like, that's just not what's taught, so
Yeah.
when you said that, I was like, ooh, I don't know. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, the reason I'm in this program was because when I saw what you were teaching for free and for $7 was in those $12,000, $10,000 programs. I was like, holy moly, like if this is what's like the low end free cheap stuff, like I wonder what's in her, like, premium and higher echelon stuff, because it was like, holy moly, right? So and the other thing is, like you said, now the rise of the coaching stuff, it's so true. I was done with the gurus. They're all saying the same stuff. It's all just, you need clients on demand, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I've heard it a million times, and that same message isn't going to work anymore especially with people like me. We've heard it, I know what you're going to teach me. I don't care. But when you came out and just said, here, the trust is immediately built. That's it. You're going to stand out just because you're serving people first, and not like, oh, get on a call with me and I'm going to charge you $15K.
What you said right there has been my mission from day one.
Yeah.
Like I get on Facebook Live to serve people, not necessarily sell.
Mm-hmm.
And that like mindset has gotten me more clients than anything else. Like when Chad Thibodeau first was like, hey, he and I just happen to live in Phoenix, and he lived in Phoenix, and he was like, I'm having an event. He's like, I love the way that you teach, and you don't sell, like you just teach. And then and he's like, can you come to, teach your methodology at my mastermind? Mm-hmm. I would have, that was the opportunity. And I will always be grateful for Chad for like taking a chance on, on me. Mm-hmm. But I would have never had that opportunity if I was not putting myself out there as an expert. Like if I was just hiding behind like other stuff, like that moment was the game changer in my business. That switched me from doing ads like on a lower level for local business owners to where being at that event got me to that $2,000 a month agency client with high-end coaches that have like 2 Comma Club awards and stuff. But that opportunity would have never happened if I wasn't putting myself in front of what everyone else is teaching.
Yeah. There's definitely something to be said about accountability, about guidance. Those things still have value. The information's nothing. Like you said, you can find information for free. Everyone and their grandma knows how to lose weight, right? They know, eat the salad, not the burger, work out, that's it. But why do people pay for, fitness coaches and trainers? Like they need the guidance. They need the accountability. There's still something to be said about that. And I tell people all the time in my program, well, why should I join your program? If you need accountability and guidance. If not, go ahead, do it yourself. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, we pay Jay Jackson like over $1,000 a month just to like stand there and watch us work out.
Right.
But that's for a reason, right? Because like I've read his books, I've been through several fitness programs. It's like the accountability and just being there, standing, telling us what to do, collapsing time for us, right? We don't have to spend time searching on YouTube for workouts for me and my wife to do specifically because he's there.
Yeah. So
Petra.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me? Because my camera isn't working this morning.
I noticed that. That's okay. We could hear you.
All black.
That's okay.
So I love giving stuff away, right? That was never my problem. My problem is, I don't even know what I had.
So
hours.
let's so I didn't mean to cut you off, but let's use better language. Instead of saying giving away stuff for free, let's just say being of service to our audience.
Yes.
All right, let's just eliminate the giving away stuff for free.
Yeah, I love to be of service. So when I look at me, why I signed up, right? I thought, okay, honestly, the first time I saw you, I thought $7, that cannot be something good, right? Moving on. And then I somehow kept seeing your stuff, and somehow somebody, I can't even remember who it was, said, man, you know, Laurel is amazing. It was a no-brainer to sign up for her $297 offer, right? And I'm like, okay, she must be good. So I went in your $7 program, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh my God, I need to be in the monthly program, right? So when I look at my offer, my lowest offer right now is $497, which is a larger investment.
But whenever I started the call, what did I say? My first higher ticketed program was how much?
$497.
$497. Yeah.
And how did I sell it?
The same way.
With 2 Facebook Lives and 2 cheat sheets.
Right. But I think, you know, there is a difference whether you sell something where people can make money, or whether you sell something that just literally feels good to them and serves a need as in their hobby. I think that is a whole lot harder, because people can justify spending money when they get money in return much easier than when it's just you know, a value that they receive when it comes to self-development, or like I said, in my case, a hobby with horses. And I just
it just depends. Like, would you like to form a better relationship with your horse? Would that not be worth $497? If you didn't have the confidence to train your horse, or I forget exactly what it is, but like, if that's their passion, I think people wouldn't mind giving you $497 if you are the go-to person in that space.
Right.
So they're not shopping around, right? So that's what I'm trying to like get you guys to understand, that when we put ourselves in front and we focus on being of service, they don't see anyone else. They don't see any other price tags. Someone might have your same program available for $29, but who are they seeing? Right?
I mean,
so they see you as the only solution.
I've sold 20, you know, I've sold the first enrollment. I sold my 20 spots that I wanted to sell. And I upgraded 6 of those people to the $2,000 program. But it's excruciatingly time intense. I mean, seriously.
What part is excruciatingly time intense?
The amount of time that I spend with a person until they finally sign up. I mean, I'm literally doing right now 14, 16-hour days with everything that's going on in my life.
Again, how much time, Petra, did you spend with me until you hopped out of my $7 and into here? Probably,
that was the first month. I mean, I think I maybe 2 weeks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
what happens because you saw me as the only solution. You turned off all of the other noise. all of the Dan Henrys, Rachel Petersons, Kat Howells, all of the other people, right? And you only saw me as that solution. That's what everyone, like Heather, like once like she gets herself in front of all of these realtors, they're going to tune everything else out and see Heather as the only solution. Heather could sell her membership probably for $297 a month at some point. Once they're like, this is the only solution for me. Heather's the go-to for this because I see her, I watch her all the time.
I have to say one thing. I mean, I did the audience builder and I got surprisingly 3 Zoom calls out of that, right? And I just did one. So one is on Friday and another one is next week, which totally surprised me, which makes me think that so far I've sold to my warm audience, that my warm audience, I mean, I think it's kind of a saturated, and going out and getting to the cold audience maybe is just providing me with way more opportunities than what I've had sticking around with my warm audience. And I haven't gone out to cold, I mean, I haven't gone out to cold audience in years.
Yep. Yep.
So
I mean,
we'll
that's how you scale, right? You can only scale you can only scale organic so much until you're like, you know what? You prove, remember what I always say in my framework, right? Get your foundations, learn your messaging, sell and validate what you're doing is working with your warm audience. And then what are Facebook ads? Organic content with money on it. So there's no surprise that like your warm audience loves your content. So it's not a surprise to me that when you threw $5 and sent it to the cold targeted audiences, that people loved what you were doing.
I just keep doing what I'm doing.
And then you won't have to spend so much time, because remember, when people continuously see you, they're going to look at you as the only solution. They're not going to be price shopping. They're going to be like, I have to work with Petra. She's the only person that I know can help me.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see. I'll keep reporting.
Absolutely. I didn't just like do this and I became the go-to. Like I started in April and I didn't launch my program until August. So there was some time that I went through. It wasn't just an overnight thing. Like Petra, you're getting more traction than I did in the first month that I did it. Like for the first month I went live to crickets. No one like knew who I was. Like, I mean, it was like, I had never been in business. I was not an entrepreneur. You know, all of my friends, I had to just start somewhere. Like all of us have to start somewhere. Like it's not that quick 90-day fix that everyone is. I don't ever say that your solution is going to happen in 90 days, but if you do it consistently for 90 days, you will see a huge improvement. Kind of the same thing with Jennifer when she works with someone, right? Like she probably like gives them a strategy, and in the first month, they're probably like, is this working? Like, you know, but in 90 days, you look back and you're like, holy shit, like I am like such a different person than I was 90 days ago. Mr. Tony.
Good morning. I am,
Good morning.
excuse me, I'm writing a book. And
Okay.
me writing that book, my wife is saying to me, Tony, you can't put everything in the book that you're going to give away as a tripwire. So what do you say about that?
Have you read Dan Henry's book?
No, I haven't.
Have you read Alex Hermosi's new book?
I have not.
They literally give everything away. And inside the book, it's like, do you want to see the deep dive in this? Go here. And it's just webinars. The whole book is made up of giving content away, giving the frameworks, and then sending people to webinars. Dan, like whenever like I went to the Bahamas and like chatted with him, he literally told me that releasing that book and giving away all of his strategies catapulted him, like doubled what he was making from just doing webinars on Facebook.
Wow.
Like he became the bestseller like in the Wall Street Journal, all of these things. And it was because he wrote, like, I would recommend getting Digital Millionaire Secrets and seeing how he did it. Like there's so many people like Russell Brunson too, like .com secrets, like it's in that same framework where your book becomes the webinar, right? And then you're sending them in the book to all of these resources to watch your longer form webinars. Why do they do that? So that they can get some FaceTime with these people, right? Like, so that people can see their face, they can hear their voice. And then the webinar goes straight to booking a call. Book, webinar, book a call is the funnel.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. They charge like, 99 cents or whatever to buy the book, or, they give away the digital download or whatever, but it's all part of a funnel.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He probably enrolls more people, and his high ticket coaching is like 55,000. It's high ticket. And he probably books more calls that way than if he would have ever like put that book on sale for like $20 or whatever. Because he doesn't think about the book as being the thing that's going to make him money. He knows what's on the other side of that book that's going to make him a shit ton of money.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yep.
It's called Digital Millionaire Secrets.
Yep.
Dan Henry.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Highly recommend it. It was everything about the way that he wrote that book was really, really, really good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Absolutely. Does anyone else have any questions, or who wants to like get some ideas on a value bomb?
Well, yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, me
Awesome.
too, because I don't sell, a service like that, you know what I do, so how I can shape it to my own.
Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer, let's start things off and take a look at Jennifer's.
Okay, do you want me to pull it up, or do you want to pull it up from the group?
Oh yeah, I can pull it up from the group too.
I have it up.
Or if you have it up, you can share your screen.
Yeah. So this is one of them, and I have another one for tracking like biometric stuff like mood and hunger and stuff daily.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So what I would actually do with this, and this is something that I just did with Jake and Ashley Olkus, instead of sending them this thing, I would put it on a value bomb landing page. So I would have the download. So this is how I would structure this value bomb. I love it. I love Excels as value bombs. What I would do is put this on a lander to where it says, what's the headline for this? What is the value that I'm going to get from this?
You're figuring out your daily caloric needs based on your basal metabolic rate and activity level. So
Yep.
Understanding how much
are you eating enough or the right calories? Here's how to use this calculator in order to get next level results or whatever, right? Big, bold headline. If you want me to work with you after doing this exercise, if you want me to work with you on how to actually execute this step by step and want weekly accountability, click here, book a call, right? Or whatever you want them to do. Watch this webinar, whatever it is that you want them to do, right? Then I would do a video walking them through how to use this calculator, and then say, click the link, the button below this to download the calculator. And then again, if you want me to help you execute this, and accountability, book a call here or watch my webinar, whatever it is that you want that call to action to do. That's how I would use this.
Okay, and this doesn't go into Messenger, because this is the value bomb is the cheat sheet that you're giving away in the power content.
Exactly. So this is this is something within the value bomb that you're doing. Like I would make it a part of the value bomb.
Okay, so put it on like a Kajabi lander page, pixel it.
Mm-hmm. And just follow the structure, right? Big, bold headline, little small pitch, video on how to use this, then the download button to get this, and then another pitch.
Okay, and I'm putting the link to the lander page in Messenger after they say, yeah, I want this thing.
Exactly, right?
Okay.
But you're having that conversation with them first, right? Like you're like, hey,
right.
Introduce yourself and say thank you for, watching my video, or starting that conversation, figuring out just a little research that maybe they're beyond this and you have another resource that would be better for them, but just starting that conversation. So
Okay.
We don't get people to register for these, Heather, to answer your questions, because it's goodwill. We're being of service. We're not asking for them to give us anything. It's going to build that, don't you just hate like when people are like, comment below if you want this, and then they like just send you like, here, opt into this in Messenger. And I'm like, I'm not gonna opt into your freaking mailing list. It's putting a barrier. We don't want barriers in between.
So we should put every single one of our value bombs on a lander, or no? Like, how do you know when you should or shouldn't?
It's just a preference. Like whenever I first started, like if I didn't have a landing page, like I would just put this in a Google Doc. I would still do it the same thing. Big bold headline, pitch, linked, watch this video on how to use this calculator, link to the calculator, sell, right? I think you should do like the benefit of putting it on a landing page is you can pixel those people and you could bring people from conversation to retargeting ads, right?
Okay, that's probably what I want because my audience is super small right now.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just a way to build up your pixeled audience.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so Heather.
Yeah.
And then Argentina, we'll brainstorm some stuff for you too. So whenever like you're talking to other realtors and stuff, what is one of the first things that they ask you about what you do?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, my membership is like, people don't show up for my live calls. So my target audience, hell if I know what they want.
Yeah.
When like I had lunch with some colleagues last week, and I would say that they're not really my target audience because they, are higher level, but we were talking about, things that we wanted to improve in our own business. And I was like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this, and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, well, I can never give you anything useful. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that's why we're here. So I don't know.
I think you can get a lot of ideas from the ones that I do. So check this out, the anatomy of a great value bomb. So the value bomb that I actually use in this example, I think would be great. 4 parts to the perfect video formula for realtors who want to increase their clientele, and then just teaching them my headline, promise of value, bullet point, closing, I think you could do a value bomb that looks exactly like this, like with some of your stuff.
Okay.
Because so the way that I have it laid out, like in the training, this goes along with the 15 pieces of content exercise. And so as you're going, so if you haven't watched the training, make sure you watch the training, because I go way more in depth than what I did today on this call. But it starts with the 15 pieces of content exercise. And then you're pinpointing, okay, with this 15 pieces of content, video number 1, I could use a checklist. Video number 2, okay, that checklist will work for video number 2, because you could use your cheat sheets for multiple videos, right? And so you can think about, okay, video number 3, you know what? I'm teaching them how to, my daily strategy. You know what? I'm going to give them a couple of swipe files for this. So I'll highlight swipe files. This one, you know what? This is just the checklist. I'm going to use my checklist. And so I literally have my students go through the 15 pieces of content exercise and identify what type of value bomb would be best. Some of them are just going to be like, because like if I'm teaching an ad strategy, people probably aren't taking notes and I'm using my whiteboard. And so as a value bomb, I'll be like, drop me a line below and I will actually give you my strategy document that has the step-by-step videos in it, blah, 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 done, right? A lot of times I make up my value. Total transparency. A lot of the times that whenever I started creating these value bombs, I was making them up on the Facebook Live video as I did. And then when I got off the live, I hurried up and like cranked out like cheat sheets and stuff like that. But it's just like, and people think that like these value bombs have to be like so like, ginormous, but like as you guys saw, like my swipe file was just my reminder video, like in one of them, right? Whenever I did a Facebook Live talking about my most profitable yet most budget friendly ad that I do for my agency clients, and it's the reminder video. So I'm like, teaching that it's a retargeting ad, teaching that it comes right after they've almost signed up for a call but didn't. And so I'm teaching it like, hey, the format, we call it a reminder video. This is where it goes. Drop me a line below if you want to see a sample of, and just swipe one of my clients' reminder videos. And then, so don't think of a value bomb as it has to be something like Jennifer, like that's a really like in-depth value bomb, which is great. I love in-depth value bombs, but they don't have to be so fancy. Like if we look at Argentina, right? With Argentina, she could be like talking about like a day in the life, like, hey, you know, like one of my boudoir clients just left, you know, she and her husband, like, you know, the fire hadn't been, you know, in their marriage for a really long time, blah, 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 blah. You know, hey, you know, would you like to see what it looks like to go behind the scenes of a boudoir session? Drop me a line below, right? And then she could do that. Or she could say, hey, you know, are you, you know, struggling with confidence issues? Drop me a line below, because I just did a case study with blah, 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 who had confidence issues. And I would love for you to read her story. Drop me a line below. And then here it is, right? What we're doing here is we're recycling content that we're using on our landing pages. We're recycling content that we're doing on videos. Like some of the videos that I do on Facebook Live, I will turn them into a value bomb that I can use with another Facebook Live that I do. So there's different ways that you can utilize these. And then I'm going to show you literally how we can use them later on in our actual email sequences too, and how those work.
So like one of the things that you said was, you know, my daily strategy of like how I structure my day or whatever. So that was a resource that I gave to club members, almost 2 years ago, I guess. And it's just a daily recipe for success. Like here's the one page of things that you need to do to sell a ton. Would you give that away?
Yep. So actually, let's see if I go to Google Docs. Where is it?
And before I start doing this, I should probably have my hot 7 in place, right?
Yeah, definitely hot 7. That's your low hanging fruit. But check this out. I had a cheat sheet that looked a lot like that. Look, this is actually how I booked out like some of my premium program stuff. This was one. 6 organic money making social media activities you should be doing every day. Want to accelerate your results? I have 2 spots open inside my premium program. Step by step, boom. Right? Do my resurrect. Look, it's exactly what I've been teaching you guys. Look, go to one of your Facebook groups, blah, blah, blah. Go live, hack, use your 15 pieces of content, spend time in your newsfeed, go live with a video, deliver the cheat sheets, do my resurrection strategy. So I gave this away. This is actually one of the most important parts to my program, but I'm using it as a value bomb. So you absolutely, like when you were talking, I was like, oh, I've actually used that cheat sheet very successfully.
Okay. Okay.
Because think about it, you could use that to get people into your $97 offer. Hey, do you want stuff like this delivered straight to you, and you know, sessions on how to implement it, right? I'm sure you give them coaching calls at least once or
twice. Yeah.
No brainer.
Okay. So just no restrictions. Give.
Yep.
Okay.
Remember, instead of saying give away stuff for free, be of service.
I know. I just said give. I didn't say give away for free.
And how could I be of service to realtors who are watching me right now and are struggling? I think before you go, every time you go live or anytime you post something, ask yourself that question. How could I be the most helpful to any realtors who are struggling to be where I am at right now? And not worry about the sale. That's going to come regardless.
Thank you.
Yeah, Petra said she's started to pull her course and put them on YouTube, saying on the top, this is an excerpt from my absolutely give away like little teasers. Like the first video when I originally had my 45-day program, I gave away module 1 for free and pushed people to the full program. And module 1 is always like the overview of the program and gets people excited. Yep, absolutely, Jennifer. So what these are used for is for inside the client accelerator 2 steps, right? So whether you're doing like a Facebook Live, or if you're doing like kind of like something like this, I just decided, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna ask the question, how many of my friends, because this was whenever I had just launched like the new like Discovery Call Accelerator, like the ecosystem version of it. And I was like, I have an ad strategy, I want to hook you up with no charge that has taken my agency clients from 5K months to 70K months. I just sent them my overview of the Discovery Call Accelerator that you guys have here. Yep. So we're using these as 2 steps. We're not just like posting them and just like blah, 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 blah. So like if you want to like, so a lot of my agency, I don't book calls, but a lot of my agency clients do. Like, so let's say you want to book more calls, you could use these as call setting, like hooks to get people onto phone calls. That's what Dan Henry does. Like he'll use these things as call setting hooks. Like he's got a couple of call setters. And whenever people reach out, like raise their hand saying they want this resource, they move them from, they ask them a couple of qualifying questions and they either give them the resource or they just move them to a phone call.
Yeah, so do this 2-step on my page as well as in my group.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Everything that we want to do, and you guys are going to learn this as we go deeper into the ecosystem, everything we're going to do is going to lead up to how can we have a conversation, whether that's in Messenger or on the phone. Oh yeah, Heather said, Argentina, could yours be a checklist for how to prepare for a boudoir appointment or a confidence code type of value bomb to build the confidence to take the photos? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah, actually, I do have plenty of cheat sheets that I can give women. And, you know, I have lots of ideas on how to implement it for women. But right now I'm like, because the formula that I have right now for women, it works really well. It's in automatic.
Yep.
What I'm trying now to create is to market to husbands, which I just launched my ads, you know, yesterday. And I got my first 2 conversions already. People registered to watch my behind the scenes video. So I'm gonna try to schedule a call on a spot in Monday to review my metrics. But what I'm doing for men, for husbands, all the ads that I'm placing is using a different business page. It's my Art of Seduction boudoir instead of my Becoming Delicious. And my Becoming Delicious is where I place my ads for all women. So for everything, and I started to watch all the videos very intentionally for the spider web, taking notes and doing all that, establishing, following the whole map, you know, because it is a spider web. Oh my God.
Right.
So everything that you're saying right now just actually came up with a very good value bomb that I can think of, you know, things that you should be doing for your wife to increase intimacy.
Yes.
So at what point, because I just started, I don't even have an email sequence yet. After they register, my copywriter is working in those emails. Right now, how do I implement that? I mean, do I create new Facebook ads or do I put it? The truth is that with emails,
for what? What are you trying? What to implement what?
What is my next step? Right now, I just started, okay? So I have 2 videos with power content that just asked men to drop me a line to get the behind the scenes video. Nobody has dropped me a line yet, but they're watching the video, so I'm pixelating them, whatever, putting the pixel on them. And then I have my conversion ads, which is register to watch the behind the videos of a boudoir session. So far, that's where I am. What's next?
Yep. So I would be doing the power content. Like were you at the workshop that I did on Thursday? Like my last Thursday, like my video, here's my daily video flow. I would be working on getting that flow set up so that you can take those and turn them into retargeting ads for you to use.
Oh, it's the video from last Thursday. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there would be more value content, videos, and then just retargeting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Every time that I'm doing a Facebook Live on my page, turn it into a retargeting ad. That's how I get in front of people, right? I don't have time to do what I used to do anymore, so I just use Facebook ads to do it for me.
Okay. So these value bombs would be, I would turn these into retargeting ads.
And then you can get people raising their hand saying, hey, I want that. Then those are even warmer people, right? Because they've already came in through your ecosystem, meaning they either came in through your power content or they came in through your your behind the scenes video. So those people would be really warm by the time you go and drop them, you know, and have a conversation with them in Messenger to give them the value bomb. Those people have already came in warm. They already know, you know, a little bit about you.
Okay. So, so for example, these X things that you should be doing for your wife to increase intimacy, make a video out of that, a cheat sheet to like drop me a line to deliver that PDF to you.
Mhm.
Okay.
I would use the same format that we use today. Like you could even write it in the form of a blog post and use that, and we'll get into it. I think you and I had probably already went through that when we were working one-on-one, using the value bombs as a value bomb lander in your email sequence. I could have sworn we had probably went over that.
Yes, and my copywriter is using a lot of my videos to create emails that go and watch back these emails. And I can see some women, they're definitely opening their emails and then they just reply to the email, thank you, is what I needed to hear today.
Yep,
So-
and that's exactly right, because some people are not going to be ready to buy right now, but they're going to watch and follow you. And we want to make sure that we're staying in front of them. And that's the whole point of this entire ecosystem strategy is, you know, someone it might take, you know, for them to follow Heather for a little bit to realize, oh, like Heather's my person, right? Argentina, like you might follow someone might be following you and remember, oh, you know what, I'm gonna get my wife that for Christmas. Well, they saw the ad in July. If you don't stay in front of them, right? So it's never about the conversion right now. It's about staying in top of mind so that when they're ready, you're the only solution.
Okay.
A cheat sheet, Tony, is the value bomb. Like there are 3 different types of value bombs: a checklist, a cheat sheet, or a swipe file.
Mhm. Yeah, I also have 3 PDFs there. One of them is like 7 days to self-love, which is a downloadable. Jesus, my morning. Need more coffee.
I know. I'm almost out, so y'all know what that means.
So yeah, people, you know, I have those and I use those for posts in my social media, and they do sign up. So they go into new. So yeah, for the women, I think it's doing well. I think, but you're right. I mean, women, like this week I've been doing sales, and I always ask them, how long have you been following me? Oh, about a year.
Mhm.
And it's just now that they're actually sign up, you know, and they got the email that you want a free session. So.
Oh yeah, I have people who've been following me for like over a year that finally joined my $7 program.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just not the right time. Sometimes it's, you know, they're just like window shopping. They try other things. They go
Right.
buy higher ticketed programs thinking, you know, and then they come back and they're like, look, it's worth a try now. I've already tried all these other things.
Yeah.
So we just never know. And that's why I always want to stay on top of people, right? So
Right.
yeah, I definitely would say go back and watch the workshop that we did last Thursday morning at this time, and take notes. And I think that's your next step, because then once you have that, then we can go and start using those as retargeting ads.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, very welcome. Does anyone else have any questions? I need to run before and prepare for our next audit hour call, which is in about 50 minutes. Tony,
Hey,
did you have a question?
Yes, can you give me that list again? You said the value bombs are checklist, cheat sheets, and what was the last thing?
Swipe files.
Swipe files. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
This was a good call.
I'm glad you guys like these.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'd like
think-
it
I
better
think-
at 9 a.m.
It is 9 a.m. on the East
Now
Coast.
it is on the
On the
East
East
Coast.
Coast.
That's right. I just need to move.
I hope you don't
Jennifer,
have
that's
anybody
that a girl.
Hawaii.
She's like, it's 7 a.m. here. I'm an early
Didn't you
bird.
have
Though.
somebody from
I'm
Hawaii?
an early bird though. Trust me. You guys want me there earlier as possible, because my
Yeah.
mind is the best. Like I just went through Dr. Jeff Spencer's like performance champions blueprint, and I was like, I almost thought about restructuring the calls for premium based on my highest creativity times, but this one just happens to be at my peak creativity time. So this call is literally like at the right time for the right type of call. The worst for me is Mondays at that 1 o'clock call, but doing strategy, like doing ad setups and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I'll leave that call there because it doesn't require a lot of my creative brain. So yeah, but that's why I tell people when they come for office hours, I'm like, if you're not here at 7 a.m. and like we end at like, 3 or 4, I'm like, if you push me back anymore, like you're not going to get the best of me. So that's why that's why I schedule all my calls earlier in the day, because like around lunchtime, my brain gets a little goofy.
Mhm.
And you guys probably see it sometimes in the 1 o'clock calls. I'm like, I'm having brain farts and shit. But yeah.
Hey, Laura, I do have one more question.
Yeah.
Which call is it that I can get help with my marketing strategy? Not so much my step one for them.
Yep, a strategy audit.
A strategy audit. Okay.
That's the Monday or Thursday call.
Yep.
So you have to book time like 4 days in advance to get your time slot.
Right. Now, I'm not talking about if it's a lead generation strategy or
She'll help you with anything in your 10 minutes.
perfect. Okay. Perfect.
Yep, the 10 minutes is yours. If you just want me to watch you stand on your head, as long as you fill out the form and it's in entirety, like
You probably won't accept it if I said I'm gonna stand on my head.
hey, you're the one paying me. So as long as you fill out the form in its entirety. Okay, guys. Well, I will see those of you guys who booked time. I need to go over my calls and review. And that's why we always like have them like have to have the form in advance, is because like we review them, my team reviews them. My team, consisting of Christina and Suzanne, are my kind of barrier. So make sure you're following the rules, make sure you're following protocol. If you need just a refresher, we refreshed all of the onboarding stuff in the program, in the home section, just to be a little bit more clear, because there were some gaps. But yeah, just take a couple of minutes before you book a call. Just make sure it's the right call to hop on, and make sure you're following protocol. And please make sure your Google Docs are shared, like we can see them, so that we don't have to request access and wait. But we put instructions for that inside the docs now too. So anyway, yep. Could you post a link to the Google Doc? Yep, it's going to be in the portal. This document is going to be in the portal underneath the Client Accelerator ecosystem under the value bombs. So I'll see you guys in the next couple of minutes for those of you guys who have strategy audits. If not, Monday, copy over coffee. Bye, guys.
Hi, guys.
Bye.